Discover the advantage of unlimited access to all the stories and resources from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. From insights to inspiration, business leaders rely on the IBJ for all things Indiana business. Start your $1 a week trial now at ibj.com/trial offer.
Kristen, Dane. The Pete the Planner Show is brought to you by Indiana 529. You know, I was talking to my wife this week. I got back from a business trip. She said I was looking at some college calculators at the website of the school our daughter wants to go to. She was looking at merit information, and she was looking at financial aid information. And it was in that moment I was so glad that 16 years ago, I went to myindiana529.com and started an account. Can I tell you the dream I have for you? No, I mean this. Go to myindiana529.com, enter for a chance to win $10,000 for your child's college education contest. The terms and conditions, of course, apply. But can I just tell you, you're listening to this podcast, there's some jokes and whatnot. We even talk about money occasionally. Yet you winning $10,000, that would be an amazing thing. And by the way, don't just do that. Open an account for as little as $10. Let's say you're the cool uncle or the cool auntie. Open one for your niece or your nephew. I've done that, and you should do it too. myindiana529.com is where you go. I'd say tell them Pete sent you, but have you ever tried to talk to a website? Terms and conditions do apply. Dame, hello. How are you?
I have a very important question.
Oh, great.
Are we allowed to enter for the $10,000?
You know, I thought about that. Go ahead. I mean, you might get disqualified. By the way, Kristen's not here, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's in labor.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Now, I will say this. You want to keep your ears and eyes peeled in the next couple of weeks. Oh my gosh, nervous. Dane, yeah. We're going to be uncles.
I know, it's going to be crazy.
Oh boy. You know, do you think instantly Kristen will understand all of our parental shitty chat over the last several years?
I think she'll pick up on it a lot faster than she has in the past. She'll get it quickly.
Hello to all of our listeners on the live stream. Andy, welcome back from vacation. I hope it was a good time. Good to be with you. Big Rick Swink, good morning. Hello, Jen. Hello, Rev. Hello, Chris. Hello, Danza. And Dame is not wearing fashion camo. That is a golf shirt. And I asked him about it earlier.
It's got like a little shark looking thing there, maybe, and some water spots. It's just very aqua feeling.
Yeah, great. Yeah. All right, Dame, what's going on? You got anything good this weekend?
This weekend is cross-country meet on Saturday. Gonna have one of the two Aquaduns running on land, which doesn't make sense, but they will be running, and then hopefully the following weekend, both of them might be back in action.
Dame, I have to tell you something that I already told you.
Oh.
Prior to the show, I said to you, Dame, I'm expecting a very important email that's going to come across during the show.
Did it already hit the inbox?
No, it has not hit the inbox, but I just want to let everyone know at some point in time, I'm going to be wildly distracted, and Dame is going to have to pick up the pieces.
Well, we'll do our very best to keep the show on the rails while you are reading about the fortunes of teenage boys.
Wait a second. It seems... All right, do you want to start the show?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right. Is this the fastest we've started the show? I mean, before the 5-minute mark?
Well,
should we at least wait till 5:20 so that the thing goes away?
Yeah, that's not a horrible idea. So let's fill another 60 seconds here and see what we can.
Dame, my workout this morning was really bad.
Well, I mean, that's kind of to be expected with all the traveling you did this week and some fatigue setting in. It's not to be
age.
Age, yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it, but you gotta be okay. You showed up. You did what you were able to do, which is better than just hitting the snooze button and rolling over and taking a little nap at first thing in the morning.
I apologized to my trainer. I told him I would do better on Monday.
And
he said, "Why are you apologizing?" Because it sucked. I did terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Cheryl. I'm glad that you're here live. Rick Swink says, last week, Dame's audio got quiet for a few seconds after the vacuum release. I noticed that too.
Really?
Yeah, we were 15 seconds away from the vacuum release.
Should we have a countdown and see if we can time it exactly?
Well, okay. Yeah, we got 10 seconds to the vacuum release. Are we ready for this?
Let's see. Everybody
Okay.
patient.
3 seconds.
1. Are you kidding me?
No way.
How does that happen?
This is the dumbest thing in the world.
Can you imagine if this is your first week listening to the show?
Stop listening. It's worthless. Somebody the other day was like, I've been listening for years. And I was like, why? What's wrong with you? Find a better show. All right, let's start. And oh boy, this is good. 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money question. Here's how the show works. You email us, Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. That's Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com, and we'll answer your question. Today, we're answering a question by we, a little less we this week. I've got Damian Dunn with me. Hello, Dame.
Hello, Pete.
And Kristen Elanius and Margaret Elanius do not join us today. They are on sabbatical. Maybe back next week, maybe back in 13 weeks. That's the nature of maternity leave. Dame, great question this week from a listener. And so I'm going to read it, and it's our entire show.
Yay.
Hi, Pete, Dame, and Kristen. My husband, Ethan, and I, Claire, are both in our early 30s, recently married, and expecting our first child later this year. Timeout. Do I have a timeout here somewhere?
You should.
I should have a timeout. Here we go.
Timeout.
There we go.
So well written.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying our listeners have really bad writing, but they often do. And, I will say if you, what was it? Bennifer was like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Big Rick Swink says that Ethan and Claire should be #Eclair.
I really like that.
Yeah. It shows you who's hungry this morning.
Yeah.
Big Rick Swink. You better get that ruck off and go find yourself a donut. Back to the show. Between selling a condo, wedding gifts, and savings we each had built up before marriage, we now have about $450,000 sitting in cash across a handful of high yield accounts.
Timeout.
Boy, yeah. This is deserving of one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Early 30s.
I mean, can you imagine if what you would have done in your early 30s with that much cash sitting in high yield savings accounts?
Well, let's see how they've messed this up. We know this is a fortunate position, really. But honestly, it's creating more stress than peace. We don't want to make a mistake with it. On top of that, we've been saving for retirement. I have around $325,000 in my 401k. And Ethan, little E as I call him, has about $40,000. And we've got other investments like index funds and even a bit of crypto. Altogether, our net worth is a little over 2 million American dollars. Our combined income is about $300,000. Have all of our lists.
Time out.
Everyone out. Here's the thing.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Dame, here's the thing. People got to just take a breath and try to learn something here, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get caught up. Don't get in another man's bag, as they say. No one says that.
Okay.
Our combined income is about $300,000 a year, and we live debt-free. We've been renting short-term places since we both work remotely and love to travel, but now we're debating whether to put down roots and buy a home. At the same time, we want to keep flexibility, especially with a baby on the way. So here's our question. How do we decide what to do with such a large pile of cash when our goals, house, investing, travel, and family all feel important, but the timing is so uncertain. Thanks for your guidance. #Eclair.
Yeah.
Ooh. Dame, the email is in. The email is in.
Okay.
Told you. No, it's all right. Dame, so as we go through this here, what occurs to you?
I mean, clearly there's a lot of good stuff going on with Eclair at this point, whether that's the no debt, the strong savings, great income. They've got flexibility that they both value at this point, although kids have a way of impinging on that a little bit. But retirement accounts already growing. They are in wonderful, wonderful shape. However, what they've stumbled into, holding cash doesn't, even though it makes you feel safe, there can be some anxiety that comes along with that. I know it sounds weird to say, but I think this is going to come down to them not really having defined financial goals right now. There's a lot of variables that are going on. They have lots of resources, but not a lot of direction with what they want to do. They're not sure on where they're going to live or what they want to do with their housing situation. They've got cash, but they clearly don't feel like it's the right time to invest that. So lots of advantages with not a lot of application at this point.
I feel like they've got a ton of opportunity. I typically see this situation when someone's in their early 50s, when they're super cash heavy, they get a little nervous for this or that. There's some circumstance that gets them that money. Could be an inheritance, could be the sale of a house. So we see this sort of stuff before. I think where things get hairy is that when a person has multiple years worth of income in an emergency fund, and it's that false sense of comfort that is scary. Now, I'll say with this group, they're certainly cranking money away for retirement. This is a pretty good situation that they can't really mess up. That being said, I think they're way underachieving. I mean, these are overachievers who are underachieving. So how do you explain that?
It's really interesting. They've got clearly at some point, Claire was taking saving for retirement really, really seriously. To be in your early to mid 30s and have over $300,000 401k at this point. I mean, granted, she's only been investing in a workplace retirement plan during a bull market at that point, so it'd be a lot easier to juice that up. But she's done a really good job. There may be more meat left on the bone because, like I said, if they don't have identified financial goals, it's likely just slipped away into other things, whether it was helping their financial situation become more stable or not. So it's very, very possible that this couple, who's in arguably pretty darn good shape, is underachieving. And I would also point out, by the way, you said, over a year's worth of expenses in their emergency fund. Well, not if they're going to buy a house. They don't.
Can we just debate this for the next several episodes and segments?
Yeah.
Because I think they shouldn't sink a lot of that cash back into the house. I think it's a massive mistake. How much do you think of the 450 should they put down? I know we have to go percentages of blah, 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 but what would you put? Plain and simple, 450. How much you putting in?
I whatever they choose, it has to be at least 20% of the down payment of the purchase price of the house. They have to do at least 20%.
Okay, so let's just guess through this here. Okay, so let's say their home is, do you want to say $700,000?
Okay.
I don't know. Is that too high, too low? I mean, I don't know why I chose that.
Sure, let's go with 700.
This income.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
140 of the 450. Do you put a dime more in?
I probably would, because they're doing great on retirement already. I'd probably put at least 2 in.
Are you faking this answer so that we can argue? Because this is not right.
You'll never know.
We're gonna get off the air and you're like, I really got you going, pal. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend the next a few segments here breaking down this $450,000. What goes where? So far, maybe $140,000 goes to, and no more goes towards house. No. How much stays as the emergency fund? And by the way, they've got so much money. They're saving so much on a regular basis. The scariest part about all of this, which is nothing scary because they have $2 million on their 30s, is that their emergency fund just keeps building and they don't sweep it back over to other things, because that's exactly what's going to happen. We see this all the time. Once Dame or me or someone else gets someone's allocation right, they get back to those old bad great habits of saving a bunch of money, and then they mess everything up. Overachievers. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with the burden of too much cash. Whoa. All that's next, right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner.
Man, I hope Eclair has a good sense of humor on the way we're.
Oh, we have too much cash. All right, Dame. Okay, so let's maybe we do. You want to do this on the air? Or do you want to do this now? Go back to when you were at this age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go. So your early 30s, you had not had LJ yet. Okay, or Mrs. Advice had not. And let's say that this was your income, this was your net worth, this was your savings. What would you have done?
Probably indulged in my car habit a little bit more than I should have, if we're being completely honest. And put a whole bunch into a non-qualified account, and it paid my house off at the time, because I could have with that amount of money gotten a car, put the rest into a non-qualified account.
I think I got to be, because we moved right before about this age we bought the house we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put some money down, 20%, and then we furnished it. We furnished it pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm trying to be honest here. Like, what would a person do? This is tough. Their income is so high, and then you wonder, will that back down? Because when they have the baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is, very possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
All right. Where we go from here? Short, midterm, long-term buckets. We'll get into a little bit of math. That's fair, right?
I think so.
All right. What would Kristen say about this? Because I feel like she would definitely disagree with us.
Well, one of us.
So she would agree with you?
Maybe.
So you tell me, Dame, does she put more into the house, or does she invest it? Because I'll be honest, I think half the answer here is just put the money in an index fund and set it and forget it. Not to give you the last page of the book here.
If the timing works out to where they want to be in a house before the baby arrives, I think they end up putting more into the house, because they're not entirely sure if now is the right time for them to feel like they want to put more money into the market. And if that's the situation, then do something productive with it. Put it into the house.
All right.
Personal preference, man. What it's going to come down to.
How much money would they? Let's say they took $300,000 and set it away.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done the math already on this? I can do it.
If you go down to the math part, there's a little bit there, but you run your own numbers. That'll be great.
Okay. How old are we going to call them? They're in their younger 30s. Can we just call them 32, just for the sake of whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show. This is a common problem that we've all had. You've got an extra $450,000 of cash.
Yeah.
You're in your 30s. You make $300,000 a year, and you just simply don't know what to do. Okay, look, literally no one is in this situation except our emailer. However, wait a second. Kristen weighing in on the live stream, Dame, as we go here. We're going through an email. Kristen says she's with me. She agrees with me. Also, she's not in labor, Dame.
I'm not sure which of those is more surprising to me right now.
So we have an emailer who is in this situation, and before you turn off the radio or turn off your podcast or your computer, just know you have a lot to learn from this. Don't get upset that someone has more resources than you do. Is that a good after-school special chat, Dame?
Absolutely.
So before the break, Dame was wrong. He said they should put, of the $450,000, quite a bit of that money into a house, at least $200,000. Dame, let's break it down from there. We got $450,000 to deal with. We are going to get to the dollar where money goes. That's what we're doing. So how do you want to fill it up? Long-term, short-term housing? What are we doing?
Let's do short-term.
Short-term. Okay. Their household income is what? How much is this? That's 300. So I don't think their expenses are 20 grand a month. There's just no way. I mean,
no.
Do you want to say their household expenses are 10 grand a month?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good with 10.
Yeah, let's do 10 because clearly they're saving aggressively for retirement. They're going to have taxes. We don't know what state they live in, which the state income tax could have a huge role and impact in this as well. I think 10 is reasonable.
Okay, now, so the reason we say this is because we need to establish what their emergency fund is. Dame, do you want to do 3 months or 6 months or something else? Because I asked myself the same question and then I landed at something else.
Man, this is clearly a privileged situation. I would go ahead and do 6 months at this point. Although, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You do 3 months as long as you're going to have the rest of it somewhere where you can access it if you need it. So it's got to be 3 months.
Can I just say, when a person gets into financial planning for the first time, it's like a career change or it's a yonker coming out of college to go and to do this. They think what you and I are doing right now is what they'll do all day. They literally think, oh yeah, we just shuffle some here and you put some of this money there. And this literally is what no one does. This is the gold standard of financial planning that no financial planner ever come across this situation ever in the history of ever.
No, I mean, this is for those of you that don't have a lot of exposure to the financial planning field, financial advisors often rank their clients. They put them into a tier system. Like they have A clients, they have B clients, C, and then whatever they want to go after that. This it would be like an A++ client at this point.
Yeah. So, all right, Dame, I think they should put 50 grand because we're just throwing money around.
I said 60, you about passed out. Then I said 30, and you were like, exactly. And now you go back to within a pocket change of my original number.
Can I say something really dumb?
Yeah.
So I feel like these people should have 50 grand. There's certain people, this is terrible. Just like they should have 50 grand like ready to go.
Just because it feels like the right number for these people.
It does.
Okay.
All right. So we're going 50 grand. So now we have $400,000 left to allocate. All right, Dame, do we want to go? It feels like we should go housing here to me, but I don't know. Which direction do you want to go?
I think housing needs to be, I think there needs to be a direction for housing at this point. They like to travel. They've done short-term rentals. They're going to have a kid soon. And like I said, that variable alone changes the dynamic in a lot of other areas. And I think you probably want to have a firm place that you're going to be in for a while.
Okay. Since I'm sitting here bullying the 50 grand, you get to choose the value of the home. How about that?
I really wish I knew where they were looking.
I know.
I mean, because if you tell me it's a coast or high cost of living area, anywhere across the state, the U.S., it becomes a much different question. 300. Let's just say, you know what? Let's do 7. Your original. I think that provides some variability.
Okay, so we're at 140. Can I bully and take the 140, the 20% down payment on a $700,000 house? These people have $450,000 in cash. We've already put 50 in an emergency fund. I want 140 dedicated to that, which takes the net down to $260,000.
Here's my thing.
I don't know why I left it.
It's all right. It's fine. They like to move around a lot. I think if they can put more down to increase the equity position, along with taking a 15-year mortgage, there's a much greater chance they can leave that house in a few years if they don't like it, or want to go to a different area, maybe closer to family or whatever it is, and come out well ahead instead of playing the 30-year mortgage game with a lower down payment and not having as much to put towards the next house.
All right. So hold on a second. You're telling me that you're telling me that it matters how much equity they put down in order to be in a good equity position with a 15-year mortgage a few years from now? It has nothing to do with it.
It helps. It absolutely helps. How?
It's illiquid. It doesn't matter. It grows at 0%.
Listen, we already know there's anxiety around their situation. Having the assurance that this cash is going to be there for them might be something that helps them sleep a little better at night.
It will be there for them in an account that grows at a higher rate than 0%.
Enjoy that after the market collapses and they want to move in 2 years.
Why would they want to move in 2 years when the market collapses? They should just calm down and pet their dogs.
Oh, yeah. Because
anyway,
we all come along with kids.
I'm pulling rank. They're putting $140,000 down.
You would do this to Kristen. That's all I know.
Well, I'm terrified of her. All right, let's just do this. How about you and I? Let's do separate pools. Let's do that. That's fair. Okay, so you can go back to 30 grand. Okay, I'll keep track of mine. You keep track of yours. Okay.
All right. So we got, I've got 30 for the emergency fund.
I've got 50.
And then I've got 200 for the down payment, and you've got 140.
Yep. I'm down to 260 net right now. What are you at?
I'm at what do we start with? 450?
450.
I don't know. I am down to 220.
Okay. Oh, this is kind of fun. Just breaking up 450 grand. Financial planning is amazing. Usually it's like, all right, here's what we're dividing up. We got $17 and an old pair of Nike joggers. Like, it's like that's what financial planning typically is. All right, so let's everyone calm down. Here's what we're going to do. Dave and I are going to take a break. We're going to check our math. I feel like his could be wrong. And we're going to come back and allocate the rest of this money. We got a couple here in their 30s sitting on $450,000 worth of cash. So here's the thing. I have to tell you this. This is an unusual situation, but we're going to do our best to make sure these people do not feel the burden of hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash in their life. And we'll help you understand why. All of that's next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. This portion of the program is brought to you by myindiana529.com. I've told you this before. When I pull away from campus after dropping my daughter, 2 falls from now, oh no, 2 falls from now, I have pictured this moment for 15 years already, honestly. And I see myself looking in the rearview mirror, assuming she hasn't already gone inside. I'm going to make her commit to waving to me, and I'm going to drive off. I'm going to be crying. At least I know I won't leave her there with student loans because that's what I don't want to do. I'm already going to be sad. I don't want to burden her with loans. So I've been saving into this account for 16 years. And yeah, it's a lot of money in it because I've been busting my hump trying to save money in here. If you want to look in your rearview mirror as you drop off your kid and feel a little bit better about it, open an account at myindiana529.com. Right now, you can enter for a chance to win $10,000, and that makes the tears running down your face a little less salinated. I don't know. So you can also have a YouGift account where people can contribute to that, and that is sweet. So go to myindiana529.com. Terms and conditions apply. This program is also brought to you by Herculean Meal Prep. Dame, I've been in Chicago the last couple of days.
Did you enjoy some pizza or Chicago hot dogs?
I had an Italian beef sandwich, but I can tell you this.
Yeah?
When Herculean Meal Prep had an Italian beef burger bowl, it was a lot better from me nutrition-wise, and that's why I've been sad for the last 48 hours, because I have not had my Herculean Meal Prep, which keeps Daddy in a good mood. So let me just tell you this. I'm very, very, very busy, and so are you. And when it's time to put food in your face, you want 4 things. You want convenience. You want nutrition. You want deliciousness. And you want it to be economically viable. That's why Herculean Meal Prep, top 5 favorite things in my life right now. Herculean Meal Prep. Go there, get the buffalo mac and cheese. It's delicious. You can even put your own favorite hot sauce on it, which I keep a bottle, and I just put it deeply into my face, and it's great. Tell them Pete sent you. I was in there the other day talking to the lady in the store, and I was like, yeah, I'm Pete. She's like, oh my gosh, people come in and say they're buying stuff because of you. And I'm like, well, that's how it's supposed to work. So go to Herculean Meal Prep. They're frozen. They're not fresh. And you're like, oh, I want fresh. No, you don't, because you never know when you're going to want to eat this thing, now or a couple months later. I buy them so often, I go through them. So anyway, HerculeanMealPrep.com.
Rumor has it that you're giving all of us Herculean meals for one of our meals, our upcoming all-team meeting.
That is not true, but if anyone touches them, we have a bunch of new people starting at the crew here recently, and I have to put a sign on the fridge that says, if you touch these, I will tickle you.
It should be part of the onboarding process.
Did you say I will tickle you? Did you say that?
Yeah, because you're not a fighter, you're a tickler.
I don't tickle our coworkers.
Oh, that's true. that'd be awkward.
What's wrong with you? Oh. Let's get back to the show. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show. No matter where you're listening from this morning or this afternoon or this evening, it's good to be with you. If you want to listen to what we talk about between the radio segments, go to wherever you get podcasts and search the following words. Type the space, Pete space, the space, planner. Don't type the word space. And you'll find the Pete the Planner podcast, and you will listen to it, and you'll be filled with joy. Dame, this email this week is about a couple in the 30s that have done very, 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 very well. They make a lot of money. They have a lot of money. Yet, oddly enough, they're kind of underachieving. They're the biggest underachievers in the show's history.
Huh. Yeah. I had to think through that for a second. But yeah, I you might be onto something there.
So Dame and I both are taking the $450,000 in cash that they have. And by cash, I mean digitally. And we are reallocating it to what they should allocate it to. Dame put $30,000 of that money in an emergency fund for them. I put $50,000. Dame put $200,000 down on a mortgage for a house as a down payment. I put $140,000. He has $220,000 remaining. I have $260,000 remaining. Let's play the feud.
All right,
Dame. What is next on the lineup of what are we gonna do with the rest of this money?
Do we need to plan for baby expenses or anything like that? I mean, it's gonna be a fraction of what we're talking about here.
Maybe a second tier emergency fund.
Yeah. A sinking fund for the kid.
Sure.
You're going to spend it. Okay, we'll skip that.
Well, you can do it just like this. We're both allocating. If you want to put money there, I have another chunk of money I'm going to set aside. I'm going to do $60,000 for second tier expenses, not emergencies. We'll call it opportunity, an opportunity fund, $60,000. And I want to put it in. By the way, we want to put the emergency fund. I want to put it in a high yield savings account. Okay. The down payment is obviously going to the bank or the buyer or whatever, how that works. No one knows. This opportunity fund, another high yield savings account. Dame, what are you putting your next chunk of money and how much is it? Mine's 60.
I do like the idea of having an opportunity fund. I've always been a big fan of those. I'm going to wait on that just a bit. 2 people, early to mid 30s. What's the chances they have a car that's going to fit the family that's coming up at this point? I think there's probably a new vehicle in their future. So we'll do whether that's a sedan, whether that's a minivan. Don't overlook the minivan. You'll get over the stigma really quick. They are super, super handy. SUV, whatever it is. We're going to buy that in cash.
How much?
I'm just going to allocate 50 grand for it.
Holy cow.
Have you looked at car prices these days?
Okay, so Dame is down to $170,000, and so far he has bought a house, a car, and a paltry emergency fund. I am down to $200,000. I bought a house, an emergency fund, and I provided opportunity.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if you know, I still have 170 grand that I could put into an opportunity fund and make.
Okay. What's your next thing you're going to do, smart guy? I'm at 200. You're at 170.
I get to go now. So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to do 170 grand. Just kidding. I think I'm actually going to put 100 into a non-qualified account.
Okay.
That's going to be the opportunity, and that's going to be emergency overflow between those two.
And you're going to put in a non-qual, like, so in the market.
Yeah.
What are you going to put it in? Index or a basket of securities?
Probably a basket of indexes.
Basket of indexes. Okay. So how much does that leave remaining? I mean, 70 left?
Yep.
What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to get a huge jump start on college.
Oh, it's actually a pretty good one. Pretty good one. All right. You want to see why my plan's better?
I mean, I want you to try and explain why it's better.
200,000 in the S&P 500.
That's it?
Yeah. Simple as keep it simple, stupid, as they say.
So I agree with one of those words. Why aren't you putting anything into a tax advantage account for college if you're gonna, Pete?
What?
That's a huge amount of money that they could be missing there. Even if they just do it annually, put it in the S&P, I guess, to start with, and then move money over into a college, into a 529.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. I don't understand here.
Well, first of all, depending on where these people live, like let's say they live in Indiana, then you have to deal with maximizing the tax benefit.
Sure.
So they could always take the 200,000 and transfer $7,500 over a year into the account. And they also make so much darn money that they need to put some pressure on themselves with that income to fund these other things. Like, this is where people make big mistakes, is they let the assets do the work and they don't let the income do the work. I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's like a WWE promo read there for a second. You know what? I just had an idea that we've talked about stuff like this in the past where it was only really good for certain circumstances. No, I'm not talking about a reverse mortgage.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
What do you think about permanent life insurance for these people?
Why?
I'm just asking the question.
For with their income? Because you're not talking about a lump sum one-time payment into life insurance.
No.
Well, I mean, so are we switching to talk about their income now? Is that what we're doing?
We can put that on hold if we have time left in the segment. But the thought occurred to me: we talk about certain circumstances, permanent insurance is okay. Is this one of those circumstances in your opinion?
All right, so we're talking income now, because you and I have both allocated the money. Okay, yeah. So we're on to income, and you're bringing up life insurance. I think possibly, but it has to do with what and this is tough when you're younger 30s, knowing what your long-term estate goals are.
Sure.
My views have changed in 17 years. If they want to leave a big estate and create generational wealth, potentially, but they're nearly self-insured as long as if they get term insurance, like they're nearly self-insured. Because especially if they take that $200,000 and put in the S&P for 20 years.
Yeah. And I mean, they're not overweighted in retirement for their net worth that they've got right now either. So it's accessible cash if they had to get to it.
I mean, here's the other side of this. It appears Ethan and Claire are emailers. Actually, Claire is the emailer.
Correct.
She makes big bank.
Yeah. She's the breadwinner in the family.
She's the breadwinner. So
based off of what it says.
if she dies, financially, it's a bigger deal than if Ethan meets his maker.
Yeah.
So sometimes, some way, people lose sight of that. She needs a ton of life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I would get her $2.5 million of life insurance, and I would use a term policy, and it would probably cost about $75 a month on a 20-year policy. That's exactly what I would do.
75. I think it might be a little bit low, but I mean, it's not going to break the bank for these folks either way. Claire will be able to afford the sweetness of life insurance.
I think the key to allocating this $450, truly, if I can sum it up, is to put the pressure back on your income. And what they've done is taken the pressure off of their income by accumulating this $450,000. And that's when people get complacent. That is how one of the biggest overachievers in this 15-year show's history is being classified as the biggest underachiever we've ever seen. So that's what I think. Dame, 5 seconds. What are you going to do?
Congrats.
Yeah. Good job, everybody. Coming up after the break, biggest waste of money of the week in the news. I'm Pete the Planner.
It gets right back to what I started with in the first segment. You got to have financial goals. If you can put the pressure on your income to know what you're doing with all of those dollars, anxiety clears up. You know what you're working towards. They are aboard a rudderless ship right now. They need steerage.
If you and I had to swim against each other,
are
you a good swimmer?
I don't drown.
I'm a terrible swimmer, but I don't drown.
Yeah.
So if you and I are in a triathlon, so like running a 5K, I win.
Yep.
Cycling,
I think you'd still beat me on cycling. I'm especially right now with fitness conditions. I think you've got me on. I think you've got me if you don't drown.
Yeah, right. So swim is always the start. I think I'd drown. I think you'd win the swim, and then you'd be still alive, and you could take your time on the other two.
Yeah, it gets real easy if you've got zero competition.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the done triathlon. One of us gets it done.
I often play the game of, could I beat my kids swimming if I did a 25 and they had to do a 50?
Well, okay. So, our version of, and by the way, the answer is no, you couldn't.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Our version of this in our house is running, and it's always the distances. All right, who wins a 50, who wins 100, who wins a 200, a 400, 800, a mile, and then like a 5K. So unfortunately, Ted wins everything after a 100.
Yeah.
I'm still winning the 100.
Think so?
Yes. He and I were about a month ago out on the soccer pitch, and we were just doing sprints, part of warm up. I hit the turbo. I hit the gas, and he was like, whoa. Now, if I don't, party favor my Achilles,
yeah,
then I think I got him on the 100. But I'm toast after that. I got nothing.
Yeah, the 100's probably about all I'm good for at this point.
Dame, you want to do biggest waste of money of the week?
Yes.
The thing is, so Danza notes that Mrs. Planner is a marathoner and she is about that distance. But here's the problem. Ted's a good runner. The problem is, it's the problem.
Didn't you tell me that he ran a fun 3K or 5K for school
19
years or so ago and beat pretty much everybody in his class?
Yeah. Ran a 5K in 19 minutes as a non-runner.
Yeah. Well, he's a soccer player. He's a runner. He just is directionally challenged when it comes to cross-country running.
Yeah. I think I've got a pretty good one today. It's something I want that I would never spend the money on, but it is certainly a waste of money.
I mean,
you ready to go? Oh, yeah. You mean the dinosaur bottle opener that you bought?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you make the decision of whether you're buying this one, pal.
Okay.
We'll do that in 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week, right here on the Pete the Planner Show, is the Batman Tumbler Batmobile. How bad do you want the real thing? Wayne Enterprises is offering a very limited run of Batmobile tumblers built by Action Vehicle Engineering and inspired by the Dark Knight trilogy film series. This site I'm on has secured allocation to be sold directly to the audience of said site. Officially licensed by Warner Brothers, this full-scale replica of the film car will be offered for sale only after a strict vetting process with inquiries opening now. The Tumbler is powered by a 6.2-liter LS3 V8 making 525 horsepower, mated to a 4L85E paddle shift transmission. A smokescreen system and imitation gun turrets are included. The only downside being that the car isn't street legal. Only 10 of these tumblers will be built. Dame, for all of your fantasies and dreams come true, how much is the Batmobile?
I mean, first of all, can we make a comment on the really poor choice of lighting for this photograph?
I can give you a different photo once. I can give you a better photo once you give me the price, because
this is going to be $750,000.
Your answer was $750,000.
Yeah.
Try $2,990,000, and there's a better picture of the tumbler.
Okay.
Did you like the Dark Knight, the one with Heath Ledger and Christian Bale?
Probably my favorite one.
It might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's delightful. Dame, what is in the news this week?
The Fed cut interest rates this week for the first time ever since last year, lowering them by 1/4 point. The move followed weak job growth, just 22,000 new jobs added last month, Pete. I don't know if you knew that. Maybe you'd asked on a show or so, who knows. And signals that the Fed is more concerned about the slowing labor market than stubborn inflation. Cheaper borrowing should help small businesses, credit card users, and maybe homeowners, since mortgage rates have already been easing. Wall Street reacted positively, with the Dow up about 0.6% on the day of the announcement. The meeting wasn't without drama. A court blocked President Trump from ousting Fed Governor Lisa Cook, and his new appointee, Stephen Miron, pushed for an even bigger cut. Still, most Fed officials expect at least 2 more reductions before year end, though there's less agreement on just how far rates will fall.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, I think it's great that is it Stephen Miron? Is that his name?
Miron, yeah.
I love a good dissenting opinion and debate. That's great. Yeah, that part's good. This was the least surprising news of the week, by the way, the 1/4 point cut. For those people who have seen interest rates fall on mortgages to the lowest they've been in over a year and are saying, now is the time to refinance. I hear you. I feel you. And as I wrote in my IBJ column for this coming week, here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to go ahead and refinance if that's what you're going to do. However, I do not want you to lower your payment. I want you to pay the exact same amount you've been paying so you can pay off your house faster, instead of restarting the clock at another 30 years, which most people do, and then take the savings to increase their lifestyle. That is common. And that's where people make mistakes. So this has been a very special Pete the Planner show.
What percent of mortgage applications were made up of refinances in the last week, Pete?
Do you have this data, or is this
I
just
do.
You do?
Yeah.
85%?
59.8. That was up from 48.8 the week before.
That's scary, because I know a good 80% of those people are going to do the complete opposite of what I just said.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just want a little bit of relief off that inflation. Dane, what else is in the news?
Consumer spending might look strong, but it's being carried by the wealthy. In the second quarter, the top 10% of households accounted for 49.2% of all U.S. consumer spending. That's nearly half, Pete. I don't know if you knew how that works out. That's up from 48.5% in the first quarter. For families earning under $175,000 a year, spending has actually been about flat once you adjust for inflation. Retail sales surprised to the upside last month, about 0.6%, with online shopping and restaurants leading the gains. But behind the headline, I should say, more Americans are falling behind on car loans and credit cards, and hiring is slowing. Economists warn that puts the economy on shaky ground, and if higher earners cut back because of market swings or job losses, consumer spending could falter quickly and risk tipping the country toward recession.
Yeah. Feels a bit on a precipice, like on a precipice of something. You know what's wild to me, and I sent this to you last night. The NASDAQ is up 25% over the last 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months.
And it's up 17% year to date.
There are some bonker numbers out there. They just it doesn't feel like things should be doing quite that well to me. I don't know why, but there are some great returns going on in the market right now.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about this. I don't know what you know about it. I don't feel like I know enough, so I'm hoping you know more than I do. President Trump's call to end quarterly investment reports. Is that in your news this week?
Where did it go?
I'm just curious, like, what the impact of that is, because as a CEO who is on a board of directors, I have to send quarterly reports that are a giant pain.
Let me read the story, and then we can see if there's something we want to chase on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Quarterly earnings reports could be on the chopping block. President Trump has asked the SEC to consider letting companies report every 6 months instead of every 3, a requirement that's been around since 1970. He says the change would save money and let managers focus on running their businesses. Plenty of CEOs agree. Leaders like Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett have long argued that quarterly reporting encourages short-term thinking and has even contributed to fewer companies going public. Back in the late 1990s, we had over 7,500 U.S. listed firms. Today, we're down to about half of that. But critics warn that less frequent reporting could hurt transparency and leave investors flying blind. Studies from the UK, which dropped quarterly reports a decade ago, showed no boost in investment, but a dip in forecast accuracy. Any change would still need SEC approval, and that process could take years.
Well, I did see this morning the SEC said they're going to propose a rule change based on this.
Really?
He says the chair, Mr. Atkins, I believe there's good and bad with this. Like everything, there's good and bad. There's the good. You're right. Companies can execute their plan.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to just constantly recalibrate and show performance on things that need more time. That being said, when things start to get off kilter or you start to see trends, quarter over quarter trends are really important. So I don't know. It's just the reporting. I guess they'll still do internal reporting. It's just they're not going to report external stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm for it.
If I'm a business, I think this is great. If I'm an investor who's really, really into this or likes to follow people who are into this, I'm probably not nearly as excited as the businesses that are going to be implementing this. So, like I said, good and bad. I do like the argument that it allows businesses to focus on a little bit longer period of time rather than just trying to make the nut each quarter.
Yeah, this is the scariest for are loose hygiene, financial hygiene meme stocks. Like I'm not going to name names. I don't need that in my life, but we all know who I'm talking about. That just are like, oh, we're going to buy a bunch of crypto and we're not going to tell you about it for 6 months. Like that sort of stuff.
Like it's a game. Then you stop with that.
Dame Kristen might be back next week.
Could be.
She might be gone for the next 14 weeks.
We won't go until the goat shows up on our phones.
I'll just say this. You got to stay tuned because we're going to have a baby on the show. I don't think she's going to bring the baby on the show.
No.
Well, anyway, sending you good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner, and this has been the Pete the Planner Show.
You didn't like that? My little GameStop thing there?
No, what did you?
I'm treating it like it's a game. It's got to stop.
I didn't catch it.
It's all right.
I didn't catch
It
it.
wasn't as clean as it should have been for you to laugh.
I was distracted.
With that email?
You know what ended up being a false alarm? Actually, can I trying to choose my word. Does this make sense? Okay, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So my other than Herculean meal prep, like the thing that I care about outside of work the most is live streaming youth soccer games. And I just treat it like I'm Dick Van Dyke. I'm a one-man band. I'm there. I'm entertaining-ish. I'm telling jokes. I'm doing these things. Well, the club just invested in a live camera system that has the overhead shot. Now families can watch live stream games for $10 of this program. And this email just came out. And so I went to my team and said, mine will still be free in this economy because I am for the people. And so now I don't know. Am I at war with the club? I mean, they're going to have better camera angle, but the context matters,
What if they make you pay to? They basically license their product and they make you pay to be able to stream it.
I'd like to see their lawyers supplant my attorneys. I'll say this. They should give me their signal and let me voice over that.
It's kind of what I thought you were going with it, is that you're all of a sudden you're going to have to get a board where you could switch camera angles or have a picture-in-picture of you making the really exciting goal calls as they. Do you have a signature goal call?
Yeah, but I hate it. Like I started doing it. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand, I mic myself up with the mics we use for our LT meetings.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a really good mic, and it's sensitive enough that I can talk like this and I can do the commentary like this because I'm around all the other parents, especially parents from the team, and so I don't want to be like, oh, Billy, I don't want to do stuff like that. So it's all very understated, so I don't get that aggressive. I'm sort of like Jim Nantz doing Youth Golf, and so I'm doing this. And so what I'll do is someone will go score a goal and Xander plays off Jesse to Zeb with a shot, goal. Goal. Zeb scores a goal. Just like that. And so we go, oh!
We
it's not the best.
Work on that.
I know, but now that I can't get wild because there's other adults with jobs.
Okay. What's your board that you use? Do you use one of the road boards?
I don't use a board.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because you could have it just keyed into one of the pads.
I could, but I don't use I'm not bringing out a freaking audio mixer out there.
My little one, it's like this big.
What do you think? I'm made of money? I'm not. I own a Batmobile. Okay,
that's a good point.
Okay. Anyway, Dame, this has been fun. We may or may not have another co-host next week. Do you think we should do guest co-host when Chris is out?
I think it'd be interesting if we had a couple new faces on here while she was enjoying her time at home.
How about this? Okay, I'm gonna say this. If you want any listener a chance to co-host the show with us,
oh no,
email me, askpete@petetheplanner.com, and we may give you a shot.
We could
ask Pete@petetheplanner.com. If you're listening to the show right now and you want to co-host, send it to me.
Do you, when you mean co-host, you mean co-host, or are you thinking about turning it into $1 Million Day kind of opportunity?
I don't know. Well, okay. No. Co-host. Like just be a host.
Just be Kristen.
Yep. Just be Kristen, which you can't be. All right, Dave, that's all I got.
Okay.
Stay getting money.
Off the Record with Indiana's 250 most influential business and community leaders is a podcast that peels back the curtain on Indiana's most respected leaders, one episode at a time. Go beyond the headlines and hear the stories of grit and innovation that shape these leaders. Do you want to know who's driving our state forward? This is a must listen. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
Want to give your team a real edge? The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.